So we'll meet laying down. You can have your legs bent, you can have your legs straight, whatever feels most comfortable for you. And we'll take the first few moments of practice just to let the body land here. On the mat, on the ground. See if you can feel everything start to settle down into the ground. You might pay special attention to where the body's making contact with the earth. You might imagine that the earth underneath you is a little bit softer, a little more receptive, like you could leave an imprint of the body right underneath you. Notice what's going on in the mind. If it's feeling really stirred up, if there are a lot of thoughts, totally okay. Just acknowledging what we're working with mentally and emotionally today. You don't have to dive into the why, just notice the what. And then when you feel ready, start to shift your awareness to your breath. What does it feel like to breathe here? See if you can allow the breath to fill all the way into the base of the belly. Letting the imprint of the body on the ground deepen as you exhale. Take a couple rounds of slow, steady breath right here. And when it feels right for you, add in a little bit of gentle movement. Maybe you dip the knees from side to side if the legs are bent. Maybe you rock the back of the head against the ground. You might make fists with the hands, circle the wrists out. And eventually reach the arms all the way up overhead. Take a big full body stretch. As you exhale, hug the knees into the chest. Take a moment here to rock side to side, to circle the ankles, circle the knees away from the torso. If your lower back is feeling extra tight today, you might check out what it feels like to stack your knees above your hips with the hands on the kneecaps, the arms straight. Sometimes that feels like a nice grounding, opening the lower back. And then we'll keep the right leg hugged in, let your left foot extend out long. If that feels like too much, feel free to bend your knee and place your foot on the earth. We'll give the right leg a gentle tug. And then draw it out toward your right armpit a little bit. As if you were gonna move into like a half happy baby, and you're welcome to do that if that calls you, holding the out back of the knee or maybe the outer edge of the foot. Take a couple rounds of breath here. Drawing the knee in toward the chest, in toward the armpit. A little bit of external rotation at the right hip. Take a full breath in here. As you exhale, cross your right ankle over your left thigh. So bend your left leg, draw the shape in toward you if that feels good, figure 4. Elbows press in toward the right leg to guide the knee toward the side. You might take a gentle rock from side to side. You might circle the left ankle. You might bend and straighten the left leg. And then we'll let the left foot land on the mat. Drop the whole shape over to the left. Right foot comes to stand on the ground. Take your right arm out to the side and gaze over your right shoulder. Take a full breath in. And a full breath out. Roll back to center. Let's set up for a banana shape. Left foot comes to the bottom left corner of the mat. Cross the right ankle over the left. And lean the upper body in the same direction as the feet. You might hold your right wrist with your left hand. Breathe into the right side body. Seeing if you can let the back of the shoulders be heavy, the back of the skull be heavy against the earth. As if each inhale could push out the outer wall of your right side. Making a little more space in the torso, a little more space throughout the hips. Maybe even down the leg. Take one more breath in. One more breath out. Bring the body back to center. Hug two knees into the chest. Give it a little bit of a rock. You might take a happy baby if that feels good. Knees toward armpits. Maybe you straighten one leg, then the other. Give yourself a couple of rounds of breath. We'll hug the knees into the chest one more time. Right leg extends out long, or right foot plants with the knee bent. Draw the left knee in toward the chest. From there, take the left knee slightly out to the side toward the armpit. Let me take a couple rounds of breath here. You can play around with what it feels like to have flexed feet. Energy all the way through the arches of the feet. You can play around with what it feels like to let the ankles be soft. Take two more breaths here. Option to turn this into a half happy baby if that calls you. Step the right foot in, cross the left ankle over the right thigh for figure four. Send your breath to the left outer hip. See if you can soften across the front of the chest, the back of the shoulders. Take a full breath in. And a full breath out. Let your right foot land, drop the whole shape over to the right. Left foot comes to stand on the earth. Take your left arm out to the side, gaze over your left shoulder. Press into your right foot to roll back to center. Send your right foot to the bottom right corner of the mat. Left ankle crosses over right. Lean up and over in the same direction as your feet. You might hold your left wrist with your right hand. Using the inhale to press the wall of the left side out. Softening into the new space you've created as you exhale. Soft arms, soft shoulders. Soft belly, couple big breaths. Bring the body back to center, hug two knees into the chest. One more happy baby if you'd like it. And eventually we'll rock and roll up and down the back body to come up to a tabletop position. Get there when you get there. Seeing if already in our practice we can connect to a feeling of having plenty of time. So really allowing yourself to move at a pace that makes sense for you today. Once you land in your tabletop, take a couple of rounds of cat-cow. Drop the belly, lift the heart as you inhale. Push the floor away around the spine as you exhale. Still thinking about making an imprint of wherever the body is making contact with the ground. Letting your connection to the floor deepen and soften. Feel free to add in some circles of the ribs, a wag of the tail. Maybe a look from side to side. Eventually shift the hips back, kind of child's pose, knees to be together or wide, allow the torso to drape over the legs, allow the forehead to rest on something. Take a full breath in here. And a full breath out. Full breath in. Full breath out. Good, inhale, roll up through the spine so you're seated on the shins. I'm gonna turn to face you. You'll tuck the toes back behind you. And then use an inhale to sweep the arms wide and high. Come all the way up like you're standing, just on your shins. As you exhale, internally rotate the arms so the thumbs point down, round the spine, and fold forward over the legs. Like you could press your forehead into your knees. Use an inhale to sweep the arms wide and high. Let them externally rotate. Let that pull you up to stand. As you exhale, arms rotate in, fold any amount over the legs. Take 3 more rounds following the pace of your breath. Don't worry about matching me or the other folks on your screen. See if you can feel what it's like to be really guided by your breath. And if the toes tucked behind you does not feel pleasant, feel free to untuck them. I find that this just gives me a little more stability, but check out what it feels like in your body. And from your last one, walk the hands forward, find your tabletop position. As you exhale, child's pose. Use an inhale to shift forward. As you exhale, tuck the toes, send the hips up and back. Our first downward facing dog, knees stay really bent. You might tread through the feet. You might sway the hips from side to side. Dip one heel toward the mat and the other. And with your knees bent, press into your hands and see if you can feel your sits bones reach up toward where the ceiling meets the wall behind you. Allow your head to hang heavy. Take a full breath in. Let a soft breath out. Inhale, rise high to the toes, bend the knees, walk forward, top of the mat. Feet come hips width apart, bend the knees as much as you like. Fold forward over the legs. Arms could hold opposite elbows or they could wrap around the backs of the legs. Feel the soles of your feet press down. Melt down. And the skull like a little weight on a string. Gently tugging the string toward the earth, lengthening it out. Press through your feet, sweep your arms all the way up as you stand tall. Exhale, bend the knees, fold forward. Keep your knees softly bent as you lift the spine halfway. Hands come to shins or thighs. As you exhale, fold forward, let it go. Inhale, step your right foot back to a lunge. And take a couple of rounds of breath. Hands might come up to tented fingertips or blocks if you've got them. Pulling the right hip hug back. See if you can lift the backs of the ears, gently tuck the chin toward the chest. And then let your back knee tap down, lift your heart all the way up. As you exhale, move the legs towards straight extended pyramid. Inhale, re-bend the front knee, heart lifts up, back knee might tap down. Exhale, move the legs towards straight. 4 rounds of breath to play around with these shapes in a way that makes sense for you this evening. Next time you move the legs towards straight, turn all your toes to face the left side of the mat, wide-legged forward fold. Knees could be bent. You could play with a little bit of movement, or you could breathe in stillness. You might take a halfway lift if that calls you. Forward fold as you exhale. Couple rounds of breath. And curl the hands to frame the right foot, little lunge. As you exhale, step your right foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward, find a high plank. Exhale, bend the knees, send the sits bones high, downward facing. Take 3 waves, your breath, your time. Let the breath move the body. Let the mind rest on witnessing everything that's happening. All the sensations moving through. Witnessing the places of effort, the places of tension, places of ease, the places of fluidity. And after your last one, we'll meet in a child's pose. Knees tap down to the mat, shift the hips back. From your child's pose, roll up through the spine. So you're seated on the shins, sweep the arms all the way up. As you exhale, left hand finds the ground, lean up and over to the left. Use an inhale to come back to center, reach high. Take it into a twist to the left. Right hand comes to the outside of the left leg. Left hand rests wherever it can reach comfortably. We'll be in the twist for a couple rounds of breath. So give yourself a moment maybe to fan the head from side to side, or to dip one ear toward one shoulder. We'll inhale, unravel, sweep the arms high. As you exhale, right hand to the earth, lean up and over to the right. Inhale, come to center, reach high. Exhale, twist right. Left hand to the outside of the right leg. Couple rounds of breath. Soften the low ribs in, lift the sternum high. Maybe you fan the head. As you inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. As you exhale, arms circle back, down, around, slide the hands forward. Child's pose to downward facing dog. Use an inhale to float the right leg up and back. As you exhale, bend the knee, open up the hip and take any movement that feels good. As you inhale, straighten the legs, square the hip. As you exhale, draw knee to nose. Inhale, send the leg up and back, reach. As you exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, send the leg up and back, reach. As you exhale, knee to nose. Pause here, push the floor away on an inhale. As you exhale, release your right knee down to the mat underneath your right hip. Left heel spin down, swivel the right shin back behind you, side plank. Left arm might swim up and overhead. Maybe explore some movement with your left arm. Left hand. Big breath in. Exhale, swim the hand to the mat, tuck the back toe, step your right foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift forward, find a high plank. This is a new one. I just learned it today from one of my teachers. As you exhale, bend your knees, let them hover off of the mat. Start to push into your hands, shift your hips back in space, like your hips could reach your heels while keeping your knees hovering. The first time I did this, I was like more in a down dog shape, but I did it like 100 times today. So feel your seat dip gently toward your heels. Take a full breath in. From here, shift forward, find your plank pose. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. One more. Inhale, shift forward, high plank. Exhale, bend your knees, let them hover. Push into your hands, send your hips back. Inhale, shift forward, high plank. Exhale, hips back, down dog. Rise high to the toes, bend the knees, and slowly walk forward to the top of the mat. Inhale, lift the spine halfway, roll the shoulders away from the earth. Exhale, forward fold, let it go. Press through your feet, sweep your arms to the sky, stand tall. Stay upright, hands pass through heart center, down by the sides, mountain. Take a full breath in. Let a full breath out. One more breath in. Breath out. Inhale, sweep your arms to the sky. You might take a little standing back bend at the top. Exhale, bend the knees and fold forward. Inhale, lift the spine halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Release, left foot stays where it is. Step your right foot back to a lunge and take a couple rounds of breath. Hands could come up to tented fingertips or blocks. As you're ready, tap your back knee down, lift your sternum forward and up. As you exhale, move both legs towards straight, extended pyramid pose. Inhale, rebend the front knee, heart lifts up, back knee might tap down. Exhale, move the legs towards straight, extended pyramid. 5 rounds of breath. Move as you need, move as you like. Next time you move the legs, turn towards straight, turn all your toes to face the right side of the mat. Wide-legged forward fold. Inhale to lift the spine halfway. Exhale, fold, and soften. A couple rounds of breath here. Feel free to add in maybe a little bit of bigger movement this time, bending one knee, then the other. Maybe sway the spine from side to side with soft knees. 2 more breaths. And we'll turn to face the left foot. Step your left foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift forward, find a high plank. As you exhale, bend the knees, send the hips up and back, downward facing. Inhale, put the left leg up and back. Exhale, bend the knee, open up the hip, take any movement that feels good on this side. As you inhale, straighten the legs, square the hip. As you exhale, draw knee to nose. Inhale, send the leg up and back, reach. Exhale, draw knee to nose. Inhale, send the leg up and back. Last one. Exhale, knee to nose, pause here. Push the floor away with the hand. And then lower your left knee right underneath your left hip. Swivel your left shin back behind you, right heel rolls to the earth, right arm open, side plank. Couple rounds of breath here. What does it feel like to open the right side body here? You might even play around with opening the heart toward the sky. Take one more breath in. Exhale, hand to the mat, step your feet back, find downward facing dog. One more of those new little shifts if you want it. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, lower the knees. Inhale, push back. Stay as you exhale. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, release the knees to the mat, shift the hips back. Child's pose. Full breath in. Soft breath out. Inhale, roll up through the spine so you're seated on the shins, sweep the arms all the way up. As you exhale, left hand to the earth, lean up and over to the left. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, take it to the other side. Right hand lands, left arm reaches up and over. Inhale, come to center, reach high. Exhale, circle the arms back, down and around. Slide the hands forward and we'll set up for a forearm plank. Forearms come to the shape of an 11. Step your feet back, bring the front side of the body and to one straight-ish line. Plug the big toe mounds of the feet into the earth, into the mat. Feel your kneecaps lift up. Imagine you could send the backs of the legs toward the ceiling as you heavy the tailbone toward the ground. Low ribs knit in, counter the rounding of the spine by drawing the sternum forward between the upper arms. Gaze looks a little bit in front of you, press into your feet, take a full breath in. And a full breath out. One more inhale. Exhale, lower the hips toward the ground, untuck the toes, sphinx pose, elbows stacked underneath the shoulders. Couple rounds of breath. You might choose to let your head hang heavy. You might even turn this into more of a yin sphinx pose by interlacing your fingers and allowing the head to hang heavy, letting it be a little more effortless. Take a full breath in. As you exhale, lower the torso toward the ground. Forehead comes to the earth, reach the arms back by your sides with the elbows straight, fingertips touching the earth. Press the tops of your feet into the mat. If you are having a hard time feeling that contact, just kind of tap the tops of your feet against the ground. I'm not going to do it because my downstairs neighbor is home and I don't want to disturb her. But press your feet into the mat. Feel your kneecaps lift up and then imagine you could send the flesh of the buttocks toward your heels. Peel the heads of the shoulders away from the ground and then reach out through the top of your head as you peel the upper body off the earth. Letting the head be a little bit heavy as if you're leading from the backs of your ears. Feel the heads of the shoulders roll back, heart lifts, press into your feet, take a full breath in. And a full breath out. One more inhale. As you exhale, lower, breath to reset. Inhale, lift everything up off the earth. You might even lift your feet off the ground by squeezing the inner thighs together. Press into the tips of your fingers. You might even float your arms back behind you. Take a full breath in here. And stay for a breath out. One more inhale. As you exhale, lower hands pressed by the ribs. Shift up, bend back, find downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, rise high on your toes, bend your knees, and take a walk forward to the top of your mat. Use an inhale to lift the spine halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Let it go. Press through your feet, sweep your arms to the sky, stand tall. Stay upright, hands pass through heart center, down by the sides, mountain. If it feels comfortable to close your eyes or soften your gaze, you can. We'll be here for 3 breaths. Feeling the steadiness of the ground underneath you. Feeling the sensations moving through the body, the heart beating, the breath moving through the lungs, through the belly, through the chest. I'll take the steadiness of 2 feet over to 1 foot for tree pose. Sorry, I'm headless. Shift the weight onto your left foot, right foot comes to your ankle, calf, or inner thigh. Hands could be at heart center. Arms could reach. You might even, since we just did all those little back bends on the ground, take your hands behind you, interlace your fingers, let your heart lift toward the ceiling. If that feels too tight on your shoulders, you can ditch it. 2 more breaths. Trying to soften the features of your face. Trying to pour the weight of the body all the way down through your left foot. And let the other foot land, shake it off, let it go. And set up the other side, root down into your left foot, right foot comes to your ankle, calf, or inner thigh. Hands to heart center to start, feel everything pressing in toward the midline. From side to side, but also front to back. So see if you can send your tailbone down, your low ribs down, your sternum up. Soften what you can, when you can. Couple rounds of breath. And let the foot land, shake it off, let it go. And sweep the arms all the way up. As you exhale, sit back, find chair pose. Arms up feels like too much. Maybe you swim them back by your sides like airplane. Still feeling the heads of the shoulders roll open, space across the front of the chest. You can play around with where the weight is on your feet. Maybe you rock front to back, maybe dip the hips a little lower, check that out. Lift the hips a little higher, check that out. Find the space that works for you today. Giving yourself permission to try some options to change your mind. Take a full breath in. Stay for the breath out. Find anything that resembles a back bend of your upper spine as you inhale. As you exhale, fold forward over the legs, let that go. Use an inhale to lift the spine halfway. Exhale, forward fold, let it go. Step your left foot back, right foot grounds. Draw the heart forward as you inhale. As you exhale, move the legs towards straight extended pyramid. Inhale, rebend the front knee. This time, back knee comes down. Sweep the arms all the way up. Lift the heart. Exhale, fingertips find the earth. Shift the hips back, half split. Inhale to lift the spine halfway. Exhale, forward fold, let it go. Couple rounds of breath here. Take what feels good. As you inhale, rebend the front knee. Sweep the arms all the way up one more time. Really press into your front foot. Right hand comes to the right hip, lean up and over to the right. And if you could reach a block or the earth on your right side, if you'd rather do that, you're welcome to. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. One more inhale. As you exhale, hands find the ground, both on the inside of your right leg. We'll swivel the left shin back behind you and walk your hands so that they're in front of your shoulders facing the left side of your mat. Right foot can come down to the ground, whatever way feels comfortable. So you're essentially in tabletop with your right leg out to the side. We drop the belly, lift the heart as you inhale. Exhale, push the floor away, round the spine. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the heart. Exhale, push into the floor, round the spine. Neutral spine, tabletop inhale. Exhale, shift your hips back like you're moving toward child's pose with your right leg out to the side. It's likely your hips will not reach your heel. That's totally okay. Pause wherever it feels a little sticky. Use an inhale to shift forward one more time. Exhale, shift it back. Back toes could be tucked or untucked, whatever feels more comfortable for you. Option to keep the hands where they are or to walk them over in the direction of your right foot. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Full breath in Full breath out. Good, walk your hands to the back of your mat, left hand plants, right arm sweeps up and overhead as you press the hips forward, back toes can untuck if they've been tucked. As you exhale, lower the seat toward the heel and crawl forward, find a lunge facing the top of the mat. Tuck the back toe, step your right foot back, find downward facing dog. Use an inhale to shift forward, high plank. Exhale, knees bend, almost tap the ground. Shift the hips back, inhale, stay as you exhale. This time a little different. If you'd like to, instead of going to high plank, you can go right into an upward facing dog with the toes tucked. Might feel a little different. So you can keep your hips a little higher. There might be less of a back bend. Trying to keep it out of your lower back by keeping your legs engaged. Take a full breath in. Exhale, we meet in a downward facing dog. Full breath in. Soft breath out. Full breath in. Soft breath in. Inhale, right side of the toes, bend the knees, walk or float to the top of the mat. Use an inhale to lift the spine halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Let it go. Press through your feet, sweep your arms to the sky, stand tall. As you exhale, sit back, chair pose. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, forward fold. Left foot stays where it is. Step your right foot back, lunge. Drop the back knee, lift the heart, inhale. As you exhale, move the legs towards straight extended pyramid. Inhale, re-bend the front knee. This time back knee comes down, sweep the arms to the sky. Exhale, fingertips find the earth, shift the hips back, half split. Inhale to lift the spine halfway. Exhale, forward fold and soften. A couple rounds of breath here. Use an inhale to re-bend the front knee, sweep the arms all the way up. Left hand to left hip or left hand to the ground, reach the right arm up and overhead. Full breath in. Full breath out. Start to round the spine down. Two hands come to the inside of the left foot. Turn to all the way to the side so that you are in a tabletop position with your left leg out to the side. Something about that does not feel the same, but that's okay. We'll get there. Drop the belly, lift the heart as you inhale. As you exhale, push the floor away, round the spine. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the heart. Exhale, push the floor away, round the spine. Inhale, neutral spine, tabletop. As you exhale, shift the hips back in space toward your right heel. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, shift back. Option to keep rocking in and out of the shape or to pause here. Your child's pose with the leg out to the side. Option to walk your hands over in the direction of your left leg. We'll walk the right hand to the back of the mat, press the hips forward as your left arm sweeps up and overhead. Big breath in. Exhale, lower right hip toward right heel, crawl the hands forward, find a lunge facing the top of the mat. Tuck the back toes, step your left foot back your way to a downward facing dog. Take what you need. As you inhale, float your right leg up and back. As you exhale, step the foot forward between the hips. Bend the back knee, sweep the arms to the sky. Find your high crescent lunge. Take a breath in. As you exhale, right hand to right hip, lean up and over to the right. Inhale, come to center, reach high. Exhale, we take it into a twist. Left arm reaches forward, right arm reaches back. Flip the front palm, tip the whole shape up and back, reverse it. Option to stay here or to tip it forward. Left elbow comes to the outside of the right leg. Hands might press at heart center. Arms might open. Back knee might come down. Lots of variations. Go where you need. Go where it feels good. Keep softening the ribs into the twist. One more inhale. As you exhale, open up, find a warrior two. Left shoulder moves away from right knee. Use an inhale to straighten the front leg, reach the arms high. Exhale, press the arms through thick air, find your warrior. Flip the front palm, tip the whole shape up and back, reverse it. Stay and soften as you exhale. Inhale, straighten the front leg for just a breath. Exhale, rebound the front knee, right forearm comes to right thigh, left arm sweeps up and overhead by the ear, side angle lunge. Keep pressing into your back foot to reach out through your left fingers to turn the heart open. Full breath in. Full breath out. One more inhale. As you exhale, left hand finds the ground. Roll to the outer edge of your left foot and step your right foot back to any variation of side plank. So whatever's pressing down, press down. Whatever's floating up, reach up. Take a big breath in. And a big breath out. Inhale, right arm reaches up and overhead by the ear. Exhale, hand to mat your way to a downward facing dog. Full breath in. Full breath out. Left leg floats up and back as you're ready. Step the left foot forward between the hips. Bend the back knee, sweep the arms to the sky. Find high crescent lunge. Big breath in. Exhale, left hand to left hip. Lean up and over to the left. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, take it in your twist. Right arm reaches forward, left arm reaches back. Flip the front palm to the whole shape up and back, reverse. Option to stay here or to hook the right arm outside the left leg and set up your variation of a twist for today. This practice turned out to be sweatier than I planned originally. Maybe that's just me. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Get steady through the soles of your feet. Sweep your right arm up and around. Find warrior two. Flip the front palm. Straighten the front leg. Reach the arms high. Exhale, press the arms through thick air. Find your warrior. Couple rounds of breath. Right shoulder moves back away from your left knee. That's also moving back. Everything wrapping out toward the sides. And flip the front palm to the whole shape up and back, reverse your warrior. Stay and soften as you exhale. Straighten the front leg for a breath. Exhale, set up your side angle lunge. Left forearm to left thigh, right arm reaches up and overhead by the ear. Keep pressing into your back foot. Wrap the heart toward the sky. Full breath in. Exhale, right hand to the mat. Roll to the outer edge of the right foot. Your variation of a side plank. Press down, float up. Use an inhale. Maybe you reach your left arm up and overhead by the ear. Exhale, hands to mat your way to a child's pose. Child's pose feels too warm or too claustrophobic. You might find a comfortable seat or a downward facing dog. Whatever feels more restful. Kind of let the heart slow, the breath steady. As you're ready, downward facing dog. Float the right leg up and back on an inhale. Exhale, step the foot forward between the hands. Left foot steps forward and out. We set up for like a classic base pyramid pose. Hands could come to blocks. Feel the right hip hug back. You might even take your right thumb, place it gently in your right hip crease to guide the tailbone toward the midline of the mat. Use an inhale to lift the spine halfway. Exhale, fold and soften. We've got about 4 rounds of breath here. Option to take the arms back to reach toward your back foot, fingertips facing the back of the mat. We'll walk the hands forward if they're not there already. Start to bend your back and step your left foot back so you're in a runner's lunge, and then heel to your right foot wider than your hand. So your right foot comes to the outer edge of the mat. Take a couple rounds of breath in the active variation of this lizard pose. Feeling the right knee out toward the right armpit, just like we started on the back. And then eventually let your back knee come down, set it up like a restorative lizard pose. So your right knee might move out and around, you roll to the outer edge of the foot. You might come down to your elbows or elbows on blocks. I haven't done a ton of quad openings, so it might feel a little tight, but you might reach up and around and catch your back foot. We'll take 5 rounds of breath. Feel free to change your shape as you need. Slowly release the foot if you've caught it. Hands come to the mat, shift the hips back, find half split variation, 2 hands on the inside of the right leg. Option to keep the hands here, to walk the arms over to the left. Walk the hands back to center, rebend your front knee, step back, find your downward facing dog, your path to get there. Optional flow through chaturanga if you're craving it. Option to play around with the version we were taking earlier. We'll flip the left leg up and back as you're ready. Step the left foot forward between the hips. Right foot steps forward and off to the right. Pyramid pose. Left thumb might gently hook left hip to guide it back. Spine runs parallel to your mat from top to bottom. Option to lift the spine halfway. Option to fold. You might reach your arms back behind you. Couple rounds of breath. Seeing if you can let the neck be soft, the head be heavy. Feet press actively into the mat. Start to rebend your front knee, step your right foot back, runner's lunge. Heel toe your left foot wider than your hands. Couple rounds of breath. Feeling the activity of this lunge, left knee moves toward left armpit, really pressing into the ball of the back foot. And then eventually let your right knee lower, left knee might move out and around in a circular way to dip out toward the side. Your variation. Try to listen to what this side is asking for. One more breath in. One more breath out. Slowly release your foot if you've caught it. Shift the hips back, half split variation, 2 hands on the inside of the left leg. Option to walk your arms over to the right. Walk your hands back to center, rebend your front knee, step your right foot outside your right hand, yogi squat, hips lower, heart lifts. Couple rounds of breath here. Feel free to add in a little bit of a twist. Good, walk one arm out long, open the other up. Take both sides. And we'll take the hands to the earth, spin the heels behind the toes, wide-ish legged forward fold. Option to hold your ankles here. Knees could be bent. And we'll slowly make our way to a downward facing dog. Flip the right leg up and back as you inhale. As you exhale, option for a fallen triangle. Right foot slides out to the left, left heel spins down, left arm opens. Right arm might sweep up and overhead. Really press into your back foot to lift the hips just a little higher. Take a breath in. As you exhale, hand to mat. Swing the right leg up and back. We set up for pigeon pose. Right knee outside right wrist, right ankle outside left. Feel free to roll onto your back leg figure 4, or to take any support with props underneath your right hip, underneath the torso. And we'll give ourselves a few moments here. So see if you can allow your focus or guide your focus rather to stay here. It will likely drift away, and that's totally okay. See if you could offer like a little calling, like a little comeback whenever you find that your thoughts have drifted. I will honestly say to myself, come back. Where'd you go? Come back. Even without the where'd you go, actually. Not like, trying to not get into the why. Just the what. Guiding your awareness to something that's happening in this very moment. Maybe it's a particular sensation you notice in the body. Maybe it's the temperature of the air on the skin, the clothes on the skin on the ground. Maybe it's a sound happening in your space. Maybe it's a feeling of tension in the body that shifts into your awareness. Maybe it's the breath. So much going on in each and every moment. And try to stay with it. As you're ready, we meet in a downward facing dog. Get there in a way that makes sense for you. Might even pedal the feet. We'll flip the left leg up and back. Set up for falling triangle. Left knee to right elbow, left foot sticks out to the side, float or your right arm up as you spin your back heel down. Left hip and right foot really pressing into the mat. Take a full breath in, lift the heart. As you exhale, find your hand on the earth, float your left leg up and back. We set up for pigeon pose. Left knee outside, left wrist, left ankle, outside right. Take any support you need. And we settle into the shape for a few rounds of breath. Offering spaciousness to the body. Offering spaciousness to the mind. By allowing it to do just this one thing. To witness where we are right now. Without story. Two more breaths. From the side, make your way onto your back. Once you get to your back, move the knees into the chest. Take a moment to rock side to side. You circle the knees away from the torso. We'll set up for soles of the feet together, knees wide, Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined bound angle pose. If you've got blocks at home and you'd like to have a little extra support, maybe you take them to the outer edges of the legs. Find that to be really grounding for some reason. It's like my hip joints can settle down into the ground once they feel supported. Let the hands rest where it feels most nourishing. And take 3 slow breaths all the way into the belly. Counting helps you. You might find it something like breathing in for 1, 2, 3, pause. Breathing out for 3, 2, 1, pause. One more, just like that. Start to draw the legs back in toward one another. Let your knees come together, feet wide. Constructive rest. Hands again, maybe on the body or down by the sides. Maybe even holding opposite elbows up overhead. 3 slow breaths. Your pace. Seeing if you can fill the throat, the chest, and the belly. Soften the belly, the chest, and the throat. Hug the legs back into center as you're ready, and then we'll set up for an eagle twist if you want it. Any other twist if you prefer that. Eagle twist, we'll take right leg up and over left leg. You could even hook your foot around. If that feels good. Scooch the hips a little bit to the right, let your knees fall to the left and gaze over your right shoulder. If this feels like too much, always unravel the legs. And take a few soft breaths all the way into the belly here too. Bring the legs back to center. And set up one more banana. Left foot to the bottom left corner. Right ankle crosses over, lean in the direction of your feet. You might notice, maybe there's a little more space, maybe not. See if you can allow your upper body to melt into the ground behind you. Bring the legs back to center and set up the other side. Left leg crosses up and over. Little eagle wrap if you want it. Your twist. A few rounds of breath. Come back to center, find the last banana, right foot to the bottom right corner, left ankle crosses over. Lean in the direction of your feet, letting this one be completely passive. Heavy arms, heavy skull, heavy heels, heavy hips, soft sides. Bring the body back to center, hug the knees into the chest one more time. Option for a happy baby. We set up for our final shape of the evening. Shavasana. Take it any way that feels comfortable for you. Allow the body to rest, offering ourselves a little bit of space again. Have nowhere to go, nothing to do. Feel that you're fully supported right where you are. We rest right here. Shavasana.
And allow your next breath to be a little deeper. Start to bring your awareness back to the body, back to the ground. Invite in any gentle movement that feels like a fresh start. Maybe reach the arms up overhead, take a big full body yawn. Roll over to one side, bend the knees, and make your way to a comfortable seat. Take a full breath in. Let a soft breath out. Thanks for being here. Good to see you all. I'm gonna stop this recording.